Okay, welcome to week number 8, where we're going to talk about managed services. Managed services is exciting for me to talk about because a lot of times people that are taking this introduction to hospitality class don't realize that this is a portion of hospitality. We oftentimes jump to hotels, we jump to meetings and special events, we jump to restaurants and food service. But managed services is an important part of our industry. It's where companies, both public and private facilities and institutions and organizations, decide that they want to utilize a third party to be able to help with some of their offerings. Oftentimes it's because the business that they do is very different than the business they need to provide to their employees or their customers. For example, airlines, right? Really good at flying planes and everything having to do with that, and maybe not so much an expert in food service. And so oftentimes airlines will contract out to a third party the meal preparation and food and snack offerings that they have aboard flights. Similarly with schools, elementary, secondary, colleges, universities, healthcare facilities, right? They're not in the business of making meals, but they are in the business of education and in healthcare, taking care of people and their health, but maybe not necessarily preparing food. So food service is what we're going to focus on most. However, there are other managed services that get contracted out, such as security, facilities and maintenance, human resources, things like that. So when you are thinking about opportunities in managed services, one of the big draws is that the type of work that's done might be in a more of a Monday through Friday kind of setting, might be in an alternative setting. There's really something for everyone in hospitality. So, for example, if I am interested in the food service at Facebook Meta, for example, right? And who does that and how can I do that? Because I know that those business offices are probably open Monday through Friday, so I would have weekends off. From a company perspective, I think that it's very advantageous to be in the managed services environment because you know how many people you might be serving at any one time. So you don't have that element of surprise that you would in a freestanding restaurant. Ability to batch cook. To be able to be more efficient in food production with less waste, as we learned about in the last couple of weeks. So really a lot of different opportunities. So on this page, you're going to be able to look at some of those different businesses, both public and private institutions and organizations. And I'm going to shift a little bit and think about what some of those companies are that might be offering these services so that we can see them. So again, I focused on food service, and so food service management companies that have kind of outsourcing, Compass Group, Delaware North, Aramark, and Sodexo, which there is an assignment on to kind of compare those two. And I also selected Bon Appetit because that's local to the area. They are now operated by the parent company, Compass Group, so you might see that at times. But wanted to take a look and explore a couple of those different career opportunities. So when I go to the Compass Group page and I'm looking at, I've clicked the tab for careers, you can kind of get an idea at where some of their locations are. So let's just select hourly opportunities as an example. And when we click that, it's going to come up with kind of all and allow you to filter it, but we're not going to filter it. I'm just going to kind of scroll through and you can see Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. You can see this is another hospital or healthcare kind of environment in South Carolina. Let's see. We have actually quite a few healthcare. Bar supervisor at Lumen Field, which is in Seattle. And press lounge attendant, which looks kind of exciting as well. That's in Chicago. And then you can see the brand here is Levi sector. So you'll have kind of some of those as well. Here's one in Santa Rosa, California, so a little bit closer to us. And we could definitely filter this to be able to see area. I just wanted you to kind of take a look at the broad spectrum of what positions are available. This one's not food service, it's janitor, but it is at United Airlines Club and Airport. So that's another kind of unique opportunity there. Guy Fieri's Kitchen and Bar at Chase Field, which is in Arizona. As a server. So a lot of different opportunities there with Compass Group. Switching over to Aramark, which is another managed services company where you'll be able to see a little bit about them as well. And let's go and click over here to careers so that we can take a look. I know they had something about the Super Bowl. So for here, you know what, let's just for fun look at a San Francisco zip code and see what comes up. And looks like they have their little chat bots over here trying to help us. So we have some opportunities here at Oracle Park, regional facility manager. You know, it's kind of interesting, right? This is not really maybe as nice of a layout because you can't really see what type of business it is. This one for sure you can tell it's a jail, right? And so that is another kind of avenue that we didn't talk about in the introduction, but very definitely a part of managed services. And then of course we'll just move over here to another company to various places. And let's see, we'll look at some open roles there. And Delaware North and Bon Appetit. So let's just do San Francisco for fun. My goodness, there's a lot. Okay. Sort of airline lounges, kitchen inventory manager. This looks like a medical type field. Here's another airline lounge position. Here's one for a university. Services. And again, this website as well, similar to Aramark, doesn't really show where it is as much. And Delaware North is an interesting one. I hadn't heard of them before. A couple of years ago, they did lose the contract at Yosemite. So, you know, national parks as well as another place where they might offer their services, and some of the naming rights as well went with that. So I like to think about managed services. I talked about benefits to the scheduling, but also that you really might be able to blend a hobby that you have with your work. So, you know, as an example, if I'm a football fan or a baseball fan and I work in managed services at one of those arenas or ballparks, as it were, that might be a really fun thing for me, and I might really be happy with that career choice. Okay, and after some technical difficulty, I was able to pull up the jobs available at Delaware North. There weren't any Francisco area. You can see Sequoia National Park. You can see at Progressive Field and Lambeau Field. So this website is a little bit better in that it tells you kind of where the location is, which would give you a better hint. So definitely, I was just doing broad searches as well. Bon Appetit, which came up here, and I noticed it says our parent company is Compass. So when I clicked on, you know, looking for jobs as a new employee, it did go directly to that Compass website, which is the first one we went to. But a little bit more, Bon Appetit is a little bit more of a local area, and a local business, I should say. So I do know that they have the contract, or they had the contract, which now Compass has at Oracle Park and Social 58. So I hope that you enjoy this week's exploration of managed services, and please feel free to reach out with any questions. Thank you.